Glad you're with us. I'm Lynn Brooks.
And I am Terry Brewer.
We begin our newscast tonight with more on the outcome of one of the most heated elections here in West Alabama. Incumbent Tuscaloosa County Probate Judge Hardy McCollum re-elected for a 7th term over Tuscaloosa County Sheriff Ted Sexton.
WVUA reporter Jennifer Edwards joins us in our studio with more in tonight's top story. Jennifer.
Thanks, Lynn and Terry. Both McCollum and Sexton agree the past 2 years have been very challenging between campaigning against each other and continuing their duties for Tuscaloosa County. WVUA has been covering this probate judge race throughout the campaign period. Last night we had a crew at both McCollum and Sexton's headquarters. Obviously the feelings and emotions were quite opposite at the two locations as McCollum was re-elected probate judge for Tuscaloosa County with 61% of the vote. But Sexton did visit McCollum at his headquarters to congratulate him on his win. Because of the countless hours and hard work each candidate put into their campaign, both say it may not be easy to go back and work together, but they're going to continue their duties to make Tuscaloosa County the best it can be.
Looking forward to a bright future in Tuscaloosa County. We've got a lot of good things that we continue to work on. We've got some new job announcements that's going to occur real soon. And so we've got a lot to be optimistic about in this community.
There's a number of issues that we'll work with the Commission to try to make our system more efficient. We'll continue to work towards improving 911, again, from the Sheriff's Office perspective.
We'll have much more on the probate race results coming up in WVUA News at 6. Lynn, Terry.
Thanks a lot, Jennifer. Another result that has Alabama talking today is the new Chief Justice, Judge Roy Moore, was elected to the top spot on the state Supreme Court. Moore became known as Alabama's 10 Commandments judge back in 1995. That's when the ACLU sued him to remove a plaque of the 10 Commandments from the lobby of the state's judicial building. The Alabama Supreme Court threw out the suit, but he was able to win the Chief Justice spot in 2000. A state court kicked him out of office in 2003 when he refused to obey a federal judge's order to remove the monument. A professor at the University of Alabama's law school says Moore's recognition helped him come out on top.
Judge Moore has been a popular figure in the state for a long time, and I think Judge Vance ran a strong campaign, at least so it looked like to me, and got a lot of fairly strong support. But look, there's no question that Judge Moore has a lot of recognition and popularity in the state, and that clearly enabled him to pull it out.
With 96% of precincts reporting, Moore had 52% of the vote compared with Vance's 48%. An interesting election result coming out of Bibb County involves a candidate who died a month ago, winning the race he was in last night. Republican nominee Charles Beasley defeated Democrat Walter Sansing for a seat on the Bibb County Commission, but Beasley died October 12th. He carried about 52% of the votes. County officials say some voters probably did not know Beasley died before the election, but others did. Election officials say the ballots were printed before Beasley's death and could not be changed before the vote. The Bibb County GOP will recommend a successor to Governor Bentley, who will appoint a new commissioner. President Obama is already making calls and seems to be setting his sights on bringing Congress together to get some things done before the end of the year.
He's already called all the top congressional leaders, and as Dan Lothian reports, there is not much time to waste.
Well, President Obama heads back to the White House later today, but he has very little time to savor his victory. He has some pressing issues that must be addressed fairly quickly, one of them being the so-called fiscal cliff. And with very little change in Congress, the makeup in Congress, some of the same challenges that the president faced over the last 4 years, he'll face over the next 4. Democratic sources saying that the president needs to be more inclusive, to reach out to not only Democrats but also Republicans, and that the president touched on that during his victory speech last night.
I believe we can seize this future together because we are not as divided as our politics suggest. We're not as cynical as the pundits believe. We are greater than the sum of our individual ambitions, and we remain more than a collection of red states and blue states. We are and forever will be the United States of America. And together, with your help and God's grace, we will continue our journey forward and remind the world just why it is that we live in the greatest nation on earth.
One of the big differences over the next 4 years compared to the last 4 is that the president doesn't have to worry about poll numbers, doesn't have to focus on another election, and will no doubt be thinking about his legacy. All of that could impact the kinds of negotiations that take place in Washington. Back to you.
Whether there is a newfound ability to cooperate will be put to the test just about immediately. The so-called fiscal cliff requires a solution by the end of the year. If it's left in place, the cliff, which is a combination of tax hikes and mandated across-the-board spending cuts, would lead to the biggest single-year drop in the annual deficit as a percent of the economy since 1969.
Tonight on your Crime Watch, investigators need your help. You may have the piece of information investigators need to find suspects in Tuscaloosa County. Here's this week's Tuscaloosa County's Most Wanted.
I'm Chief Deputy Ron Abernathy with the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, and we need your help locating some of Tuscaloosa County's most wanted. Lorenzo Leatherwood, black male, 46 years of age, 5'8", 180 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, last known to be living in the 62nd Avenue area of Tuscaloosa, wanted for violation of Sex Offender Act. Lawrence Daniel Lewis, black male, 27 years of age, 6'5", 140 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, last known to be living in the area of North Rosser Road, Tuscaloosa, wanted for unlawful distribution of a controlled substance. Christopher Richard Harden, white male, 24 years of age, 6'2", 200 pounds, blonde hair, hazel eyes, last known to be living in the area of Oak Drive, Northport, Alabama, wanted for unlawful manufacturing of a controlled substance, first degree, and possession of marijuana, first degree. If you have any information on these or others wanted by the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, please contact us at 464-8672 or go to our website at www.tcsoal.org. You can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Working together, we will continue to make Tuscaloosa County a safer place to live. Thank you.
The Crimson Tide is gearing up for a big game this weekend, fresh off of its victory over LSU.
Texas A&M, the Aggies headed now to T-Town. We have a live look for you over Bryant-Denny Stadium. Nice looking sunset out there, right? This is where the two teams will show down on the gridiron. The Tide is ranked number 1 going into this weekend's game against the Aggies. They're ranked 15th. It's the first season the Aggies have played in the SEC. All the action for this one kicks off at 2:30 p.m. on CBS. WVUA Sports Director Gary Harris will have much more for you later on in Alabama's home team sports.